Excited for our team, XFL Southern Division champs, and play home game in the playoffs. We still have one regular season game left, but we're sure to playing in the playoffs, winning the division, and playing at home. So that's 2 out of our 3 goals, or 2 out of our 4 goals. One was to make the playoffs, 2 was to win the division and play at home, and then 3 is to win the divisional game, and then of course 4 is to win the championship game. So we're halfway there, and 10 or 9 games ago you couldn't say that. So I'm proud of our team. Our defense scored 2 touchdowns in the game. I mean, they just keep coming up with plays. Now I thought Vegas did a good job overall. I thought the last couple of games where they started McClendon at quarterback, they beat San Antonio by 14 points. They had a lot better team at the end of the year than they did earlier in the year, and you could see that. So they played a really good game against us, but we came through at the end under pressure, and that's significant to me, that the teams that play well under pressure and win, those are good teams, and we have a good team.
Coach, with your history in the state of Texas, especially in the city of Houston, family legacy and everything, what does it mean for you to bring playoff football back here in the city of Houston?
Well, last time I came to the Texans, they weren't in the playoffs, so we went to the playoffs and won a playoff game there. So it was nice to come back again and get a playoff and play at home in the playoffs. We did do that, yeah, because JJ intercepted one in the dome against in the stadium against Cincinnati and ran it back for a touchdown. I'll never forget that one. But so we get to play at home too. It just means so much to me to be in Houston, to be coaching, and obviously to win. My family's got a great winning tradition overall, certainly, and now my son's following in our footsteps too with Minnesota. They were in the playoffs, so it's kind of a neat tradition with our family.
Offensively, you guys picked it up as far as running the football, running by committee. Can you talk about your performance as far as having a slow first half running the ball, but y'all picked it up in the second?
Yeah, the second half we challenged our offensive line, and they played really well. And the running backs ran with the ball well, but I thought our blocking was a lot better the second half, and especially when the game's running down and we needed a drive and we needed to take some time off the clock. I don't know how many minutes we took. Quite a few minutes off the clock and made us 7 points ahead, and made them have to score a touchdown to be able to tie us. So. And then the defense came through at the end on last play of the game. Just like the previous game, it was in overtime. It was the last play of the game. We won again on the last play of the game.
You talked about your defense and your run game. Do you feel at this point in the season your pass game, which is average in the hundreds last 3 games, is good enough to win an XFL championship?
Well, it can win an XFL Southern Division championship for sure. We just did that. No, I mean, you still got to play good enough to win. That's the most important thing. And I think this team knows how to win, has learned to win, especially these last 2 games, We had some easy victories earlier in the year. Maybe we got a little complacent. I'm talking about coaching-wise or whatever. Had a rough skid there where we lost some close games that we very well could have won. And then to win the last 2 like we won the last 2, I think that gives us a lot of confidence. It does me. Well, I mean, we still got to have a game to play, but now depends on what happens. But they in San Antonio may be still fighting for the playoff to play us in the playoffs in Houston. So could be a really big game for them. All games are important. if it's the last game of the year and we've got everything wrapped up, I want to play my starters some, but I don't want to take a chance on getting these our top players certainly injured. So we'll just have to talk about that and see what happens. But and may or may not be a factor with Arlington. Depends on what happens with San Antonio. I guess if San Antonio loses the game, then we play Arlington 2 times in a row. So, but we'll see. So, well, here he is. All right. Here's Brandon right here.
Rich, what can you say about guys like Max Borghi and Bryson Lee really putting the team on their back in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I'm gonna let this guy talk about it because he handed the ball to him,
It's
and he's in
good.
the huddle with him.
It's always good when you can hand the ball out to those guys, and the guys up front made a lot of holes for them, and they made guys miss. That's how we move the football. We're a passing attack. That's not working. We can lean on the run game, and that's what we did in the second half.
Talk about the pass attack not working. That's been the last couple of games now. How do you and AJ get together and fix this for the playoffs?
Yeah, just going and practicing. Honestly, I haven't been practicing much as of late. So just getting back out there and practicing, getting the rhythm going down. Some of the plays today is the first time we ran them just because we had a walkthrough, long walkthrough and stuff like that. So just getting back to practice and getting that rhythm. It sucks not playing well. But that's a game. They get paid too to play. So, just got to get back to practicing and scoring points really.
What's the feeling that you have right now, Brandon, as now you're a division champion, and you know that you're going to have a home playoff game? What's the feeling that you got right now?
Yeah, it feels great. We got a great defense. Thankful for them. Not the showing that we wanted offensively, obviously, but from an air, attack. But in the second half, we did what we had to do. Started running the ball, giving our defense a break, and then they played lights out. 2 scores. If you lose in 2 scores by the defense, it's pretty bad on offense. So, luckily we pulled that out. But we just got to play better from a passing attack, and we will. We'll get it back going like we were in the first half of the season. So, and as it starts with practice.
Speaking of running the ball, in the fourth quarter we saw Max Borghi break free for a 36-yard rush, and then we saw Bryson Allen somersault to the end zone.
Yeah.
How important were those 2 plays in terms of building momentum for the offense, and how crucial was the run game to the offensive?
Yeah, just like the passing game, there's a lot of rhythm to it. If you're getting the ball to the running backs on a run, they can find holes, and they might have, they might get stuff to play, but they can get a feel for it and get their feet, ready to go. And so that's what you saw in the second half, them finding rhythm, them finding running lanes from the guys up front. So it was great to see Bryson with his first touchdown. He got called back in Seattle, and then we had an F angle for him in Seattle as well. They got batted down. So, that should have been a touchdown. So it was great to see him, and obviously the flip was sweet. I used to do that. I used to do that back in my day, but I don't do that no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to do that. I was going to do that when we won, but
So I try not to get up in there too much, So.
But I can't say enough for what our offensive line took the challenge. The running backs really did a great job and running really well. And I thought Harris helped us on punt returns too. He had some great punt returns. We had field position on our kicking game. Now that last run back that they made on the kickoff, I had them kick it out of the end zone because I was worried about 14. And then we said, well, let's kick it to him this one time. And so I'd like that decision back. But our offensive line, they were challenged and they stood up. I thought they did a great job.
Brandon, you had a positive 6 yards rushing today. Is that more the offensive line doing their job?
Oh yeah, for sure. I forgot what that play was, but yeah, I need to do it more often. But usually when the quarterback running, that's when Cole comes in. So I let him do all the QB running. So but yeah, I need to get 5-6 yards, get down and play the next play.